So I'm having some thoughts today that I need to get out of my head, basically. I think we can all relate, but um, I think I'm getting sick. It feels like I've been getting sick for like a week straight. Um, but I don't know if it's just the weather where I live, but I feel like shit. But anyway, I'm gonna make a video about this, and this might be, you know, something that people might not agree with, but these are my thoughts. And I just try to keep it as real as possible. And I'm just gonna try to relay what I'm thinking about this sort of topic. But so bear with me. Um, do we wear fragrances for the approval of others? And I know I kind of made videos sort of touching on this briefly before, but I'm gonna kind of go more into a different angle. Um, so do we wear fragrances for the approval of others and to impress them, or do we wear them for our own self-expression or just our self just enjoyment in general? And I think that obviously, yes, we wear them for ourselves and no one else. That's true. Like everybody knows that in the fragrance world. But there's also a side of it. Like you have to understand why did you start wearing fragrances? Was it because you like the way someone smelled and you're like, oh, I'm gonna start wearing that? But why did you want to smell like that yourself? Like you wanted people to react the same way about that fragrance that you did. You want them to react the same way to you wearing it. You know what I mean? I think that's pretty true, about all of us. And maybe there's people out there that just don't give a shit really, but I think if we're being 100% honest with ourselves, we all wear fragrances to draw attention to ourselves. We want to be put above the crowd, and it's a part of your appearance, we want people to approve of our appearance, we want people to recognize us. And I know it might be surface level, you're just you smell me and it's yeah, I smell good, but it doesn't really mean anything, it just doesn't really mean anything. But I have a little bit of notes here. I think we want to smell good and smell these different types of scents and stuff because it's our need to be slightly different, than everyone else, and I think that we everything that we do in life, underneath it is we all are seeking approval that we never got from maybe our parents, or a relationship or friends, or recognition at your job. We all try to do these things to just make us one step above everyone else, you know what I mean? um, but also I think that whenever I wear fragrances, this might be totally weird, but whenever I'm out in public or something and I smell someone wearing a fragrance, it's and I'm also wearing a fragrance, it's just kind of I don't I'm if I'm if it's a guy and there's girls around or something, and I know that they smell him too, or I know he's been smelling great all day or something, and I haven't gotten a compliment, but I can smell him, and it's maybe he got compliments on his, maybe I wore the wrong type of fragrance, or can people even smell my fragrance? I haven't been complimented today. These are just thoughts that you sometimes have. But like I've said before in another video, getting complimented is really rare. But unless you're just a very outstanding looking person and people just flock to you, but that's not really the case all the time. But I find myself almost becoming a little bit jealous of people that smell good, because it's detracting from me, you know what I mean? Because I think at the end of the day, if you're not married and you don't have kids and things like that, and you're looking for a mate, you're everyone's kind of your competitor, and when they smell good, it makes you kind of oh wow, he smells good too, now we're kind of even, you know what I mean? And now I'm not as exceptional anymore, you know what I mean? That's why you really can't rely on your fragrance alone, because you have to be exceptional in like everything you do. And that's why fragrance is so important because it does make put you a step above everyone else, but it's like you have to use it as like a whole package. Like it has to be a part of your whole package. Like you have to smell good and like look good and talk good and convince everyone that like that's really true about you. You know, like people can read right through your like fake disguise. Um, but yeah, obviously like the self-expression thing, like I don't think like that anybody is like really smelling your fragrance and is like, oh wow, he must be like a really like deep person because he wore like a really like intense like woody like oud fragrance, you know, like or like he's very like Middle Eastern, like he's wearing like all these like smoky fragrances, like it's like nobody's really thinking about that. But so on that like level I can like understand like, oh yeah, these are just like what you enjoy and and that like might be all that matters to you and that's fine, but like I think everyone kind of started to get into fragrances because they just wanted to start forming their identity, and forming your identity is like wanting to be different, you know, like wanting to be your own person in this world, you know, and there's a lot of other people in this world and you want to stand out, you know, like you want to be the best person, you know, like in this animal kingdom, you know, of life, you know, like you want to be like the best of the best. And I think smelling good is obviously a good choice for that, but we all do it for a certain reason. And yeah, I think people that say like they wear it just for themselves is like that's partly true, but it's like there's also like another side to that, you know, that you might not be fully aware of, or just lying to yourself, I guess. But I don't know, that might piss some people off, but I'm just trying to be real, you know. Like I don't want to like lie about things. Like I'm trying to be like pretty self-aware, you know, like when I started wearing fragrances, like I like of course I wanted people to smell me, like and like I wanted to smell good, but like I started wearing fragrances in like a pretty like formative like years for me because like I didn't really have much of an identity, but then when I started to like become more of who I wanted to be, like I wanted to like fully like tie it in with how I smelled, you know, like I wanted it to be like a complete like package basically. And yeah, that was I don't think people start really like caring about their appearance until like they start wanting to like improve and like get recognition, you know, like to find a girlfriend, you know, find a boyfriend, you know, find a wife, husband, you know, stand out, you know. But obviously you don't need a fragrance to do any of that. Like it's not necessary, you know, at the end of the day. It's really not. But it's just and it's also kind of just easy, you know. It's like an easy thing to just buy a bottle of fragrance and just spray it on you and then just forget about it. And yeah, sorry if these are like just totally random thoughts, but I just been seeing like a lot of people like on here like talking about like why they wear it and why they don't wear it, and it's like okay, yeah, you don't wear it to impress anyone. You don't care what people think. It's just like that might be true, but I don't know. I think everything that we do in life is for a reason, because if there wasn't a reason, then we would all just like lay down and die. You know what I mean? So, um, yeah, I think that might be it for this video. You know, let me know if I'm like just totally off the mark here with this one, but I don't know. I've just been having like some like interesting thoughts today about like just like identity and everything. You know. Um, And I'm not like meaning to like piss anyone off, you know, either. I just these are just my thoughts, and it's really not that serious. Just some guy, you know. I'm just some guy at the end of the day, and wear your fragrance for any reason you want. But I think I'm just kind of like reflecting a little bit more on like why I wear fragrances and why I think people would wear them. But you know, everyone's perspective on life is a little different. So, but yeah, I think that's it for this video. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you agree or if you disagree. And I look forward to hearing your responses in the comments. And I will talk with you later, and I will see you in the next video. Au revoir.